Good evening, believers. This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you tonight for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, let me tell you what we do. I am a love coach specifically for women in a very particular circumstance. You have been cheated on. You have been cheated on by the person that you love the most and you want to stay. You want to work it out, even though all the people in the world say that's the wrong thing to do. You shouldn't do it. Blase, blase, blah. I know what they say because it happened to me. I am 16 years past my last D-Day, not my first, but my last. And I know all the things that people say to you about doing such a thing. But guess what? Guess what? You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to listen to them at all. You can have exactly the life that you want with your partner and get over this trauma. Get past it, get to a better place, have a good relationship again. And I know that again because I did it. All right. And I want to tell you all about it. I want to tell you everything that I know about getting past this infidelity, flipping the page, getting to your new chapter. All right. So let me know that you're here. Say hi. Give me some likes. Give me some love. Let me know that you're here. Let the algorithm know that you enjoy being here on the Healing Hour Live with me. Hey, Nada. I see you over there on Instagram, girl. Hi. Oh, goodness, y'all. I hope that you're having a good full moon. I know that the full moon can be a little bit difficult. We are right now. Today is the full moon. And trust and believe, plenty of people are feeling very emotionally overwhelmed right now. So if that is you right now, come on in here. Come on in here. You all talk to me. We're going to talk about it. All right. We're going to feel better. We're going to work on some things. I'm going to answer your questions. Things are going to go well tonight. All right. Maria, hi Maria. So I have no problem carrying on with the relationship, but I just can't understand why he doesn't just confess why he did it. Girl, we can get all into that. It's actually a little deep, but let me do the beginning part and we are gonna answer that, okay? We are gonna answer that question for you tonight. So stick with me, all right? But I always start with the basics, okay? I always start with the basics of how you're going to start overcoming this trauma. You have been through a trauma. That's what this is. And so if you're going to come through it, you have to have some skills. You have to have some things that you know you got under your belt that you can get anytime. You can pull them out and you can feel a little bit better. You can feel more in control of what is going on. All right. So we're going to run through those real quick because I got a whole bunch of questions. I see there's a lot of good questions. And there was one from last week that I need to answer. So we're going to run through the basics pretty quick tonight. All right. First things first. I always get started like this. The one thing that I want you to do right now with me is do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? If you're trying to heal from this, that is the best possible thing that you can start with. It is a thing that you can always go back to. If you are having a hard time, things are not going well, go do your deep breathing, okay? It's going to calm you down. It's going to send oxygen to your brain in a time where you are feeling like the fight or flight instinct. So instead of that oxygen going to your brain, it's going to your large muscle groups. We can switch that around with our deep breathing, bring that blood flow back up to our brains, and then start to feel a little bit better because we got a little bit more sense now. You got a little bit more blood flow. You can think a little bit clearer. All right, so we are going to do our deep breathing first and foremost. Range 67 Rover, I see you over there. Hey, glad you're here with us. Come do your deep breathing with us. We're doing our deep breathing. What we do is 4-7-8 breathing. What you're going to do is blow out, inhale for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 7, and then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. Now, when you're doing this, you're pausing. You're holding it so your body can use the oxygen, and then you're blowing out to get rid of excess carbon dioxide, okay? We're going to do this 3 times for the live, but I want you to be doing this 5 times a day, okay? Every single solitary day. It's going to bring your anxiety level way, way down. After this trauma, you're going to feel more in control of your emotions. You'll be able to think more clearly. You'll be able to react better, okay? So first things first, you're going to blow out. Breathe in through your nose, 2, 3, 4. hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Let me know. Does that change the way you feel when you're doing it? It should. It should make you feel a little bit. Sometimes it'll make you more alert. Sometimes it'll make you more sleepy. It depends on what you're needing at the moment. But having that oxygen flow up to your brain makes you a little lightheaded, makes you a little tingly, it might make you yawn. All sorts of things happen. Let me know what happens with you when you're doing your deep breathing. All right. Second thing, always want to do every single day, twice a day. First thing in the morning when you wake up, right before you go to bed, I need you to do your journaling. I need you to sit down and do your journaling. It does not matter if we've got a fluffy, puffy journal with a cockatoo on it. It does not matter if we get the 89-cent joint from Walmart. I don't care what you're using. Open the book, write on the pages. First thing you need to do is put your date and your time. You need to know that so that when you write down something, you have a revelation. You realize something happens at a specific date and time. You get triggered a specific time of day or a specific time of the month. You will know that because the date and the time are written down. If you don't write down that date and time, you're not going to be able to put the pieces together. All right. And then the second thing you're going to do is do your level of anxiety. How are you feeling right now? 0 is always right with the world. You are feeling all right. Your emotions are together. Your body is not uncomfortable. Things are going okay. Then 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That is a 10. Okay. If you are not at that point, you are not at a 10. You do not need to put down 10 if you are not screaming or throwing things or running down the street naked. Okay. Don't put down a 10 if you're not doing one of those. A 10 is a loss of control. A 10 is it has gotten so bad that I cannot control myself anymore. If you are not at that point, you're maybe at a 9, maybe at an 8, but you are not in a 10. Isn't that a good thing to know? All right. Usually it's not as bad as you think it is. 10 is not, 10 doesn't happen as often as people think it does. All right. First thing in the morning, right before you go to bed, 5 minutes. Don't write a novel. You don't need to do that. 5 minutes of writing is good enough. Fill up maybe about 4 or 5 lines. Think about how you're feeling, things that you want to get accomplished, things that might trigger you, how you might handle it, getting a grip on your day. Okay. Then at night before you go to bed, the things that are bothering you, you want to think on, you want to worry about tomorrow, put it down. Things that have stressed you out today, you're not sure how to handle it, put it down. Things that you might encounter tomorrow and you're worried about, put it down. Then you're able to sleep a little bit better. Once you write that down inside your journal becomes this vault that your brain can unload in, and it knows it's on paper. It knows it's real. It's not digital. It is a real physical object that you can look at, so you will not be able to forget the thought, and then your brain will let the thought go. Okay. So always sit down with your journal, write in your journal. All right. Third thing that I always want you to do, want you to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, okay? And since you all are here with me, I want to hear good stuff from you. I don't even know. I don't think that my Thirsty Thursday post posted. I don't see it in the picture, so I don't think it actually posted this morning. I thought I had it set to do it by itself. But apparently it didn't. Okay, so that's all right. I still want to hear good stuff from you. All right. Tell me your Thirsty Thursday. Tell me the things that you feel gratitude for today. Because gratitude is an easier feeling than joy. If you're trying to get from being so angry and so hurt and so upset with him and get to feeling better, feeling more secure, gratitude is an intermediate step, okay? It is a step you can get to even from the bad feelings. You can get to feeling grateful because grateful is universal. You know that you have some things that you can be grateful for. If you sit in those things, if you dwell in those things for a little while, if you let them make you smile, if you think about how you would feel if you did not have those things and compare it to your life, you're like, well, yeah, my life would be so much worse without that. Your brain can't argue with that, okay? Your brain wants to argue with you about loving him. And that is an easy thing to do because loving anybody is putting yourself on the line. It is a big old risk, and your brain doesn't want to jump that far. But you can get to being grateful for things. You can get to that. So I want you to be thinking about the things that you are grateful for every single solitary day. Be working on it. That's why I do Thirsty Thursday to remind you on a weekly basis to remember the good stuff. Remember the things that you are very, very grateful for. All right. I am grateful for my husband. Today, I with my group, with my After Infidelity Mastermind group, I was working with them on Monday and I was telling them to go ahead and do the attachment styles quiz, tell you how you get attached to people as far as your relationships with your parents when you were a kid. And I recognized how secure I feel with him. And like being that secure in our relationship actually made me a more secure personality type or a secure attachment type. And I just had to give him a kiss today. I was like, you know what? This says I can depend on you. And I strongly agree that I can depend on you. So I am grateful for that. Okay. I'm grateful for feeling like that now when back in the day I didn't feel like that. So it's an awesome thing. All right, Maria, you said I have changed a lot after the cheating. Yes, you grow with pain and trauma. Growth is always painful. It always is. Think about it. When you were growing, I am 6 feet tall. So when I was growing, my bones hurt. I was like 13 years old. My mom was taking me to the doctor because everything hurt. Every bone in my body hurt. And they were like, oh, because they do an x-ray of your wrist and see your growth plate. And they said to my mother, they were like, oh, she's not finished growing yet. She's still growing and she's growing fast. And they were like, that's why she's hurting like this. I was like, oh my God, I still have to keep going through this. Every bit of growth hurts. When your wisdom teeth come in, you are growing, you are changing. It is painful, okay? You're gonna change with this pain, but you just gotta make sure that you don't change in bad ways. You don't want the pain to make you be reactionary and stay in your fear, because if you stay in fear, you isolate. That's what fear does. It wants you to pull back, it wants you to isolate. We don't want that. We want to be able to connect with our honey. So it's going to change you, but don't let it change you in a way that you don't want. Make it be a change towards what you want. Work on it. Go hard for being in the circumstance that you want to be in after this is over, after you feel better. All right. You say, yes, I want revenge, but that's not right. I'm working on myself a lot more. Good. You should be. And don't go for revenge because it doesn't help anything. I know it seems like it would make you feel better, but it doesn't. I've talked to plenty of people and they're like, it didn't really do anything. I got revenge and now he's mad at me. He feels like I went over the line and I feel like he went over the line and everybody's mad at each other. So let's not do revenge. Let's do our best selves. All right. This is a situation where we are trying to get back to love, right? We want to be the best possible versions of ourselves. So we can't let the pain and the trauma go ahead and make us be shitty people. All right. You want to be the best person that you can be. You want to be the queen after all this has gone down. You want the story to read that you were always worthy, always loyal, always loving. You want that to be the story. You don't want the story to be that, oh yeah, she got hurt and she just went to pieces and started being a terrible person. You don't want that to be the story. Nobody is sympathetic to that queen, okay? You become the evil queen then. You got to be the good queen. You got to be the good one in the story, all right? All right, and last thing, besides gratitude, I need you to stop asking him questions, okay? Please, Please stop asking the questions. Oh my God, everything is always so much worse with the questions. I know you want to know. I know you are dying to know. Maria, I know you said that's your thing. You have the question. Why? I promise you, the closure doesn't come from you asking these questions. The closure is not going to come from his answer. Your closure is within you. It does not come from him. It does not come from anywhere else. So if you keep asking questions trying to seek closure, you're just always tearing the wound open. Does that make sense? You asking these questions is your trauma's way of saying, this is somebody that I don't trust, I don't believe in, I don't feel comfortable around. I'm going to consistently question them because I do not trust them. I do not want to let them close to me. And that is completely opposite what you actually want. You want to still be close to them. You want this to work out. You want to reconcile. You want to forgive. And you can't do that if you're constantly questioning him because that is directly from your trauma. Your trauma wants to know all the answers. So watch him very carefully and treat him like he's like a poisonous snake or spider or something in your room creeping around. You can't trust him. So you got to keep asking all these questions. You got to question him. You got to go over the details 100 million times. It just doesn't work. I promise it doesn't. All right. So instead of that, okay, if you have to ask a question, if your brain is itching for you to ask a question, which it will, because it's part of the trauma reaction, your brain will start itching. It'll be like, I have to ask him a question. Instead of asking the questions that you want to ask, which I promise you will not gain you anything, let's try something a little bit more constructive. This is the and. This is a game that is the healing edition from the Skin Deep. The Skin Deep makes this, and you can find it on Amazon. If you put in the and, you will find it on Amazon. You'll find their store. This is an excellent game. You can sit down with your boo, deal out a couple of cards, 2, 3 at most. You do not need a whole bunch, okay? Because these are kind of deep questions. All right. It gives you a minute to think. You got to sit here and you got to pause and you got to consider some things if you are having this conversation. Okay. So instead of the questions that you want to ask that are not going to be any good for you, they are not going to help you heal, they are not going to get you closure. Let's ask some questions that are just positive about healing the relationship instead. Okay. Maria, you said you never talk about it and how it impacted you. I do not believe you. I have been doing this for quite some time. Most women, I have very rarely seen any woman that does not talk about it and how it impacted her. Because it's a trauma. You can't help but talk about it. If you are in a shooting, you can't help but talk about it. It is a trauma. It was something that scared you to death. You are going to talk about it. If you were in a major accident, it was a trauma. You were going to talk about it. So I think you have talked about it, but the thing is, you're not getting the answer that you want, and you are not going to get it right now. You want to know the why. If you keep trying to figure that out right now from where you are, you're not going to be able to get it. You've got to travel a little ways down the healing path first. You got to understand. You said no. No, I mean, is it what we are supposed to do? Not talk. Oh, see, asking all those questions, they suck. They suck. They do not help you. Has that helped you? All the questions that you have asked and all the things that you have talked about, has that healed you? Has that fixed it? Has that made you feel any better? Let me know. Because I would say if it did work and it did make you feel better and it made you feel so secure and you feel like you have a good comprehension on it, okay, do it. But most of the women that I work with, it does not work like that. The women that I have helped, he can answer all of the questions. He could be doing all of the things. You still have to get back in control of yourself. You got to regulate these emotions after the trauma. You got to stop the effects of the trauma on your brain. So if you go into it and you keep talking about it, it keeps reopening the wounds. You can't ever get it to close up properly because you keep tearing it back open, asking questions about it, because those questions are not for understanding. Those questions are for ammunition. Your brain only asks all these questions after a trauma to be able to warn you of danger. That is the only purpose of this. That's the only reason your brain is doing it. It's so insistent about it, is because it wants to know what ammunition it can use against him in the future to keep you isolated. If you are reacting out of fear, fear is designed to keep you alone. Fear wants you to isolate. Fear wants you to hide. If you want love, then you can't do the actions of fear. Does that make sense? He said, at least if he opens up and be honest, that's great. See, yeah, you're like, if he does that, but he's not going to keep doing that. And nobody wants to keep on doing that. Nobody wants to keep on opening up about, oh, I did something wrong. You know what I mean? Nobody does that. That's not even realistic. You don't want to do that. If you did something wrong, do you want to keep on having to open up about what you did wrong? No, nobody wants that. All right. All right. I done got all distracted, started answering your question. But here, let me give you a couple of questions from out of this deck, okay? Much easier questions to sit and have a conversation with instead of talking about, oh, you hurt me. Why did you hurt me? Why are you so terrible? We don't need that. That's not helpful, all right? This one says, when others look at my life, what do you think is the lesson they can learn from it? So you're asking, if you want outside looking in about my life, what lesson do I have to teach other people? That is a good question. I'm trying to tell you, these are some awesome questions. Get yourself this deck, okay? I think it's about 30 bucks. It is well worth it, all right? That's an excellent question. Way better question. Makes you think a lot harder. If you flipped it around, if he was asking you, if others were looking at his life, what do you think that they can learn as a lesson from his life? Now, last week, my honey answered questions, but he's in there watching the game. He's watching the girls play. So I don't think I can get him to answer questions today. But you think about it, all right? All right, next question is, what do you feel is still unresolved between us? See, you can maybe sometimes bring up the cheating if you get the deck. But so you don't always have to answer the question. That's the thing about playing this as a game. The rules are, if the person looks at you in the eyes for, I think it's like 15 seconds, 10 seconds, and it says every question must be asked, but you don't have to answer the question. To earn the right to remain silent, you must look at the person in the eye for 10 seconds before saying pass. So they may not answer this one. They may not. However, it is at least still connecting. It is looking each other in the eye. Okay, if they say pass, we let it go. We move on to the next question. All right. You can even make a rule that if they pass, they got to take another card. All right. This one says, what's the emotional itch you think I need to scratch and why? Interesting question, right? Way better than the questions that you want to ask. You tell me right now, the questions in your mind, are they better than that? What's the emotional itch you think I need to scratch? Do you think your question is better than this question? I bet you it's not. I bet you it's not. I bet you that's a better question than the questions that you want to ask, all right? So I want you to stick to constructive questions instead of asking questions about the affair and all of that. You got to stop digging into that. All right, you with me? All right, so now answering questions because I'm excited about this. Maria, will you please tell me what answer as to why would you accept? Has he told you any why? Has he told you anything at all as to why he did this? Or has he not said anything at all? He won't say why. He won't open up about it at all. You tell me. Let me know which one it is. Because usually it's one or the other. Usually it is either he has said a why and you can't accept it. It's not, it doesn't make sense to you. You don't like that answer and you think that he's lying and you want him to change that answer. Or he hasn't said anything at all and you want an answer. Some answer, any answer would be better than no answer. Let me know, Maria. Tell me which way are we coming from with that. All right. And then we can get deep into it. We can go into it. Because the thing that you need to know is there are usually 3 reasons why, all right? And you let me know. You tell me as you're listening to this, do you think that one of these 3 reasons could be the reason why he did it. And not just one of them. It could be a combination of all three that I'm about to tell you, okay? The why is a thing, and most women are dying to know why this happened. Why would you hurt me like this? And you got to start off from the idea that this is a bad idea. We all agree with that, right? This is a stupid thing for him to do. It's a high risk, very low reward type of situation. He is going to do something that is going to cause a very large rift in the family that he has. So, if we all know, we are all aware that cheating is a bad thing you should not do, what made him feel like this bad decision was a good decision? That's what we need to ask. That's what we need to get delved into. Okay. All right. And so usually there are three reasons for that. Usually it is about pain. Okay. You think he wanted to have sex with another woman, and that's all it is. You won't accept any other answer than that. That is the only reason that he would do such a thing. Does that make you feel better? If that is the answer that you want to hear from him, that would make you feel better. If he just wanted to have sex with somebody else, that'd be good. If he said that to you, you'd be fine with it. Let me know. All right, so the three reasons. All right, and keep a listen out to this while I'm telling you. All right, first reason is I think you got to be with one woman only. That's a lot. That's a lot of judgment. Why do you think that? What about him? What about his past? What about the people around him? What is it that makes you think that? And why are you with him then? If that's the case, if you never thought that he could ever be faithful to you, why are you expecting him to be now? Well, if that was the case, if you just thought that he could just be with one woman, what made him be the person for you? All right, and answer me now. All right, so let me tell you all about the three. The three things that could be happening that I have seen that usually are the reasons why they cheat. All right, number one is sick. All right, sick like everything. All right, sick is everything. It could be physical illness, it could be mental illness, it could be addiction, it could be so many things. When we are ill, we are not at our best, okay? If he has a mental disorder, got depression or whatever, and decided that maybe if I have sex with another woman, I will feel better. Addictions, yes, exactly. So you're saying already you feel like he has an addiction. He has an addictive personality. This was an addiction. So you're saying that you feel like he's sick. Okay, so that's one. We know one already. He is ill. Okay, because addiction is an illness. It is a change in the way that your brain works. You are replacing the good chemicals in your brain with outside things. So it works the same way for drugs. It works the same way for women. If you are using those things to give yourself happy chemicals, it's an addiction. Okay, so all right, you got that one. That one is definitely him. The second thing is sad. All right. Now, first of all, if you got an addictive personality, you're probably pretty sad. Okay. Your life kind of gets spiraled out of control because of your addictive behavior. So that's just one thing. Probably he's got the sad too. But sad is usually a loss of some kind. And with addiction, you have lots of loss. Okay. So if he is feeling like, if he is addicted, if he does have addictive tendencies to his personality, he's probably got some sadness going on because his brain chemistry is different. It is not the same. People who have addictions do not have brains that are like the rest of the population. Okay. It is definitely an illness. It is definitely something wrong with his physical being. So that kind of makes you sad. Anytime you have an illness that makes you feel sad, you feel like you have lost out on something, and you did. You lose out on being the person that you wanted to be when you are sick and not able to be at your best. All right. So some kind of loss. Let's say that his loss is the fact that he has this mental illness, he has this addiction, and that will make you sad. That is a loss of some kind. All right. And then there is stupid. Stupid is not what you think it is. Okay, Maria? Stupid has to do with all of the crazy stuff that we are taught about relationships as men and as women. Okay. Men are taught some crazy stuff. Okay. Men are taught that they can't cry, like all of their emotions need to come out as anger, and that's the only acceptable answer. They can't have sad, they can't cry about things, they can't be emotional about stuff. It's got to be anger or nothing. All right. They're told that their worth is based on how much money they can make and how many women they can get. All right. That's sad. That is a terrible thing. The way that romance and sex and relationships are put forth in things that are designed for women. Like we've got the Hallmark Channel, we got Hallmark movies, we got the romance, and look how much he did for her, and look how long it took for them to be able to be intimate with each other, and he was just holding her hand on a regular basis. And the men are told sleep with her as soon as you possibly can. Don't wait around. Don't be a simp. They're told all of that madness. All right. So that's what we're working with here. That's the stupid. The fact that watching our parents be in relationships, that has messed a whole bunch of us up. That's a lot of stupid right there too. If you think about like, the relationships that you saw with your parents, the issues that you saw with the two of them, you may have some of that stupid in your background, and it makes you think that this is a good decision. It makes you think that, oh, well, everybody does it. And if I use it to make myself feel better, I'm just like everybody else. So most men have that stupid in there too. So usually it's a mix of all three. So Maria, you let me know. You say he's into porn, he's addictive. Okay, we got the addiction. That's one thing. So sick. And then sad, we know if you're in an addictive state, you are going to feel sad. You're probably not doing your best work in life. All right. And then stupid. Whoever told him that it was totally appropriate for him to get addicted to porn? Here, look, this is what you're supposed to be looking at because you're a boy and you're supposed to be watching all the porn. You see how this might happen? So you're asking him why he did this. And your brain is telling you the only acceptable answer is he just didn't want you. He wanted somebody else. He just can't be faithful to him. He didn't want you. All right. You say, yes, he's all of that. Exactly. So now you know. I bet you know right now from knowing that much, you know more than he does about why he did this. Can you feel me on that? You probably in this last 10 minutes have uncovered more about why he did it than he has. Because if you're in the midst of all of that, that's all trauma. Being sick, having that loss, having that sadness, and having all of that stupid stuff you had to deal with coming up as an adult, all of that is traumatic. We all go through so much trauma. And we have to recognize that the other people around us are dealing with just as much trauma as we are. So if you want to understand why, see, the thing is, your brain is trying to tell you that you got to understand this why, and it has to be that reason so that you can be justified in being mad at him and not wanting to be with him. Because if he just wanted other women so badly and you were just so much less to him, then that gives you an excuse to isolate from him. Do what the fear tells you to do and back away from him. But is that what you want, Maria? That's the whole thing. We are not just listening to the fear. We are not just listening to this trauma anymore. We are choosing our path, okay? We are deciding what we want to do. And even when it's scary, we are traveling the path of what we want, not what the fear is telling us to do. Can I get an amen on that? Can I get a I like? Can we get something like that so you can understand what I am trying to tell you here? We are not listening to the fear anymore. We are queens. We do not live our lives by fear. That is just ridiculous. We don't do that. We are queens. We stand tall. We make plans. We make moves and we do what we want to do, not trapped. Not, oh, because I'm so fearful that this, that, and the third can happen. No. We're not doing that. That is not what we're doing now. We are deciding what we want. We are putting ourselves on that path. And when the fear comes along, we tell it to fuck off and we continue to go for what we want. All right. Can't believe he won't do it again. Don't concern yourself with that. Concern yourself with healing, with forgiving him for this time, for trying to reconcile with the relationship. That is what you want. You're talking about controlling something that he has control over. You can't worry about that. That has never been your thing to control. Whether he does it or he doesn't or not, you can still control whether you heal, whether you forgive, whether you decide to reconcile. Don't try and make his decisions, make your own. Okay? That makes sense? You all let me know. All right, let's see. Where you asked that on the questions. Good, good, good. All right, let's see. Let's see. Alexis. Hey, Alexis. Alexis said, I often wonder that myself. Oh, she was asking the same question about why. But sometimes I think if a woman is putting it out there because of her own insecurities, I think a lot of men will take it. That gets into the stupid. They get told that some women, a lot of women, get told that your worth is how much you're wanted by a man. And so, even if it's a man that belongs to another woman, oh, but if he wants me, then that means I'm the most important. Yeah, that's exactly what happens a lot of the time, Alexis. You said, I think a lot of men will take it, and they will a lot of the time because they've been told that that's the right thing to do. They've been told that that is the appropriate thing, and that's what they should be going for. If a woman's willing to give it up, you might as well take it. Horrible, stupid, stupid. It's the stupid part. All right. So no matter what she looks like and dressed like or who she is, all the same, it hurts and will always be for me hard to understand that. I don't look at him the same. The who he cheated on me with just sickens me. You would have felt the same way about anybody. If he cheated on you with Beyonce, if he cheated on you with Eva Longoria, if it cheated on you with anybody, I'm trying to tell you, it would feel the exact same way. I don't feel it is us, it is them. It is. He had me feeling like I could never do anything right, no matter what I did, pick arguments for I don't know what. Yeah, if he's in the throes of an affair, he's all into his thing and he's doing wrong, he's got to make you be wrong too. Because of course, he can't just be wrong by himself. He can't just, say that he's wrong and just accept that he's wrong and you're not wrong too. Why would he be doing the wrong thing then? You know what I mean? That's horrible. He wouldn't want to do that. He wants to make sure that you're just as wrong as he is, so that he doesn't have to feel bad. All right. Oh, let's see. Let's see. I know there was another question that I wanted to answer. Where is it? You all let me know if you got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints. Let me know. You said I can't keep checking if he will do it again. Maria said. Um, what about talk to the other woman in a good conversation anyway? Girl, what does that do? That does nothing. I know it's a very tempting thing to do because you want sisterly solidarity. You want to look her in the eyes and be like, "This is my man. You may not have known. I know he may have lied to you, but I don't want you seeing my man." And if she's got bad self esteem, she knows about you already. It's not gonna matter. She doesn't care. That is not her problem. Her problem is her own insecurities, her own issues. So she's not going to care about you being hurt. All she wants to do is feel better herself. All right, laughing at me. That's all it is. No, they don't. She doesn't care. She has absolutely no allegiance to you whatsoever. She didn't even know you. She knows him, and she knows that. Oh, he makes me feel good. So I don't care about her. If she feels bad, then that's on her. She better find a way to feel good herself. I'm using him to feel good about myself. You know what I mean? So that's the sucky part. So even talking to them, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Even it's just no point because you go into them, it is saying that they have some control over your future, and that's just totally wrong. You know, you say you're right. She came by your house to cheat. So yeah, exactly. She owes you nothing. She would not give you any truth, and whatever truth she did give you, it would be trying to just stab you. That's all it would be doing. All right. Joni, hey Joni. He said, I figure if my husband wants to do it again, then I will find someone new and he is aware of this. And you know what? I don't want you to paint yourself into that corner, Joni. I know that everybody says that, and they're like, if he ever does it again, but mine did it again, and I didn't do that. So don't don't give that ultimatum right now. You decide about what will happen if it happens again, when it happens again. You being all concerned about it happening again. Oh, if you do this again, I'm gonna leave you, and then it happens again, and you don't want to leave. Then that makes your word look weak. So don't speak on it yet. You know what I mean? Don't tell them that. You watch, you wait, you heal, and then we'll see what happens. All right. Joni, you said you spoke with AP and told her she will never compare to me and her moral compass is awful and needs to take a look in the mirror. She couldn't reply other than he loves you. Exactly. Exactly. Even in her side chick state, even in that side chick mentality, she still could completely understand. Oh, he don't love me. He loves you. He is using me. All right. I made him feel a little bit better. And yeah, my moral compass is probably a little off because I went ahead and accepted that. But he loves you. All right. So even she know in her side chick capacity, she still knows who the queen is. She still knows that. All right. All right. Yeah, he came by the house. Joni said she told my husband she could take care of him and treat him better and try to get him to leave his family. And you see how that worked. So yeah, I don't even worry about side chicks. Side chicks have a whole nother set of problems. We must act as queens. We must deal with queens that the situations that queens must deal with. Dealing with side chick problems, that is not our thing. That is not our problem. We don't need to understand all that. Just go ahead and let them side chick along, okay? Thoughting on down the road, all right? Karen, hey Karen. Said no good comes from a conversation with the AP. It really doesn't. Remember, they were saying do anything to make your man leave. Okay, make you leave, make it, because she hadn't been able to make him leave you yet. So now if you talk to her, she's gonna be like, here, let me tell you the worst possible things that I can think of to tell you to try and make you leave him. She will manipulate. Don't listen to side chicks. Queens are not to be concerned with the issues of peasant girls, okay? We are not doing that. That's not cute. It's not royal. We're not doing that. If the peasant girls out in the stables rolling around with kings and random men, that is not for you to worry about. That is not for you to lower yourself and go chit chat with her about her hoary ways. That is not for you. You don't need to do that. All right. Let's see. Jonas said, I told him he needs to learn how to upgrade, not downgrade, because she's ugly. And I'm not saying that just because she has a side thing. She looks like Shrek in the face, not good. But it doesn't matter. None of that matters. And the thing is, we're all women. We're actually all beautiful. But the problem is, we have been taught to compare ourselves with other women. That is what you're having an issue with now. You've been told that you are supposed to just be more beautiful and then that couldn't happen to you, and that's not the case. Beyonce been cheated on, you know what I mean? Halle Berry has been cheated on. Call them out. You call them out. Who is your identifying person? But Beyonce is mine because she got the money, she got the looks, she got the talent, and he cheated. Like, if that can all happen, then why are we even comparing ourselves? That's stupid. That's the patriarchy. That's men keeping us at odds with each other. Oh, because she's uglier than you. So if he cheats with her, then that says something about you. Get the hell out of here. That is not, no, that is not cool. We are not going to continue to fall for that. All right. So it doesn't matter what she looks like in the face. It never had anything to do with her looks anyway. Like I said, sick, sad, stupid. None of that has to do with how she looks. Okay. That's internal pain that he's dealing with, that he's rocking with right now. Taylor, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's his issues. That is not her at all. Doesn't have a thing to do with how she looks. She could be the most gorgeous woman in the world. And guess what? If he is feeling that pain and making bad decisions because of it, he could cheat on her. All right. So don't feel like it has anything to do with looks. It ain't never had nothing to do with looks. It has never been the thing. Some of them do try and like, oh, I want a 10. Some of them do try and do that, but most of the time when they're cheating, it's not about the looks. It's about who's gonna help them feel better. Who can they use to feel better within themselves? Stephanie, I see you over there on Instagram too. Hey girl, hey. Glad you're here. All right. We got a question. The question from Marie from last week. I had to read this one because this was a good one. All right. It's sort of what we're talking about. All right. She said we should talk about how to get out of and stay out of the victim mentality, especially when anxiety keeps telling you bad things. Also, how to navigate through your own triggers without depending mostly on your significant other to fix or remedy what caused your ill feelings. We are responsible for our own healing. I would just like some suggestions to empower myself and work through these tough things more on my own. The victim mentality, that's where I got the queen thing from. Okay. I was in my uh throes of anxiety and pain and everything about the cheating. I lowered myself. I forgot that I was queen. You know what I'm saying? This is my king, I'm the queen. All right. And if that is the case, then I'm no victim. Okay. I am out here on the chessboard. The queen is the most important piece on the chessboard. Okay. You can't treat yourself like some peasant girl in a barn. You cannot treat yourself like that. You're the main character. You are the center of this story. You are the only character you have known from the very, very beginning. You know yourself. You know you are the person who this story revolves around. Act like it. Don't ever treat yourself like you're a sidekick character. All right. You're the damn queen. You act like it. You remember it. You don't address peasant girls. All right. Don't lower yourself down to their level and have them explain things to you. What? Who? I would never, never, right? Go sit down, little peasant girl. I'll call you if you are needed to do something hoary again. I'll let you know. But other than that, I'm not addressing that. That's where I had to start from. That is my thing. That's why I always call you that and to remind you that you are not a victim here. And then that's another reason why I call you believers too. I don't want you to feel like you're a victim here. This is a choice you are making. You have decided that this is the person that you want to be with and you want to heal with, you want to reconcile, you want to forgive. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Not a single solitary thing. So you're not doing anything wrong. You don't play yourself as the victim here. Bad things happen. Yes, they do. That does not make you a victim. All right. That can make you a survivor for damn sure, but it doesn't automatically make you a victim. And if you are the victim, then you assume that he is the perpetrator. He is the person that has hurt you, the person that has done you wrong. He is the person that you just want justice against. And we can't think of him like that if we're going to heal together, if we're going to love each other again. You can't think of him as the perpetrator. He is still your king, he is still your partner. Focus on putting him back into the real role that you want him to play instead of I'm the victim, he's the perpetrator. This can never be a good relationship again. All right. You're going to do things to him where you're the perpetrator too. Okay. Let's not get that messed up. You are not going to go through an entire life and not hurt him. All right. There is going to be a time where you're going to be a perpetrator. He's going to have to think of you as his partner instead of the perpetrator. All right. We need that to be the basis of our relationship. We need that to be so on every given thing that happens. If we are going through something bad, I'm going to treat you like my partner and not like the person that did it. All right. And then triggers. Okay. Triggers. First and foremost, gotta search for it in your body. Okay. The thing about triggers is most of the time, they don't start in your consciousness. They don't start up here where you can be like, oh, I'm feeling triggered. It doesn't usually work like that because this is a physiological response from your brain. It is actually an automatic thing. So before you can even consciously understand that you have been triggered, you are triggered. Okay. So instead of looking for it up here, you got to look for it throughout your body. All right. When you are triggered, how does it feel? Where do you feel it in your body? Most people feel it a certain places. Some people feel tightness, like a band across their forehead, squeezing. Some people feel it as like a feeling like you're being choked, like something that's coming up your throat and is trying to claw its way out and it's strangling you. Some people feel it in their chest, their heart pounding out of their chest. Some people feel it here in their stomach. Your stomach is up higher than you think it is. It's right here. All right. Your stomach feels awful, feels like a rock. hit your stomach. Some people feel it down in the intestines. Everything tightens up, everything slows down. Your digestion just starts to stop. All right. So where do you feel it? Let me know, y'all. Let me know. Where do you feel it in your body when you're triggered? When you are feeling like, oh, he's probably seeing her. When you start to spiral, where do you feel it in your body? If you can monitor that area of your body, do your deep breathing, try and keep that area untied. If it's something that happens in your chest and it's starting to tie up in your chest, imagine it as a knot. You are unworking. You are loosening it up. You are releasing it. You are letting the tension go. Maria, your heart beats fast? Exactly. It feels like it's about to jump out of your chest. It's banging against the inside of your rib cage. Slow down. Do your breathing. If you do your deep breathing, you control your heartbeat. Right now, when your heart is pounding like that, it's because you're already triggered. Your brain has shot out some adrenaline and has started the fight or flight response. So you feel your heart pumping all hard to move your blood around your body. That's what's happening when that's happening. So if you look at it and you're like, hey, my chest is starting to feel a little tight. I'm starting to feel a little fluttery in here. Things are starting to bang on the inside. It's time for me to do my breathing. It's time for me to breathe. It's time for me to get control over my response. Because if you get control physically over that response, you're in control of the trigger too. All right. So you know the trigger is there by how your body feels. And then you loosen it up. You do things that are self-care. You do your breathing. You hydrate. Get yourself something to eat. Go buy yourself a treat, something that you really enjoy. Go get your Starbucks. Whatever it is, go take care of yourself in that moment. Do not allow the trigger to just sweep you along. If you first start to feel that trembling, that thing in your chest, immediately, oh, I'm triggered. Okay, let me go sit down. Let me do my breathing, put my head between my legs, focus on something positive, give myself something positive, treat myself, take care of myself, soothe myself, do my breathing, calm myself, center myself before it has carried me away and I want to flip the hell out. Because that's what's coming next. Okay. If you don't catch hold of it when it is that feeling instead of when it's crawling up your throat and about to come out of your mouth, yeah, you're gonna say something wrong. You're going to start a fight, and you don't want to start a fight. You want to be healed. So we got to flip that around, change our behavior in that moment. There is a moment between triggered and reaction. There is a moment. It does not feel like it, but there is. So when you are triggered and my heart is pounding and I feel the thing, okay, next moment is what do I do? How do I keep control over myself? How do I regulate this emotion without going directly to reaction and lash out and be angry? There is a space. You got to learn to master it. Okay, that's how you do the triggers. That's exactly what you do. That is the simplified version of exactly how you work it out. All right. Any questions, comments, thoughts about that? All right, what else we got? What else we got? Elise! Hello, Elise. How you doing? You said, I think she means how to train your brain not to have triggers. Like for me, it bothered me and I triggered me when I saw him texting. Like, who are you texting? And my brain automatically thought it was the girl having inappropriate convos, triggers like that. Exactly. You got to be recognizing them. You're doing good. That's the first step is recognizing it as a trigger. All right. If your brain goes immediately to the thing, well, who are you texting? Okay, first of all, grab that thought and reel that thought in. Who mama are you? Are you trying to be his mother? Who are you texting? Woo! You had that thought. Is that a normal Elise thought? That is a thought of the pain and the trauma. All right. You got to recognize that thought as not your thought. That is the response of the trigger. Okay. You got to recognize that as not being what you would normally do. If you see him texting, he's just texting. That is a normal thing to do. Everybody texts. I text all day long. Everybody texts, okay? I am kind of an introvert, so I don't really like talking on the phone like talking about it, okay? If you work with me, I will talk to you, but otherwise, I'll text you, okay? So I'm not big on that. I text all day, every day. You can't assume bad things from texting. So if this is a situation where I'm triggered by a normal thing, something that everybody does that is a regular thing that I only think is a problem because he cheated, that is a trigger. We got to recognize that. We got to isolate that. We got to start working with that. Okay. All right. That is a normal thing, brain. That is not a threat, because that's what your brain is telling you when you're triggered. This is a threat. This is something dangerous. This is something that you need to avoid. You need to tell your employee, your brain, no, no, brain, texting people is how people communicate in 2024. We are not in 1981 where we can call on the phone. We are not in the 70s where you got to go and drive over to somebody's house to be able to see if they're home. We are not there anymore. That is not what happens. People open up their phone and they text. It does not mean something bad, because that's what's happening. You're connecting a normal thing to being a traumatic thing. And you gotta separate that. That is an active thing that you have to be doing inside your brain every single solitary day. Every time a trigger pops up. No, that is not correct, brain. I understand how you would feel like that him texting could be a danger, but guess what? Texting is a normal thing. I will not accept it as a danger. I will not do that. So I need you to think something else. Let's say that he is texting with somebody that, like his mama or his sister, somebody, one of his friends. He's doing something from work. Hell, he doesn't even have to be texting. A lot of the time when I see my husband, I think he's texting. He's actually playing a video game. He could be playing a video game. So don't accept it. You can't just accept that the trigger is the truth. Does that make sense to you, Elise? Let me know if you need me to explain that any better. But that's what it is. It is believing the trigger to be true, believing the trigger to be a danger. You can't accept that it's a danger. You cannot just let your brain go on off and say that to you. Your brain works for you. It does lots of things on autopilot, just like a lot of your organs do, but you can't just let it think this thought and just let it be, because it's going to believe that thought to the end of time. Oh, this is dangerous. If he's on his phone, that's a danger. If he's got his phone in his hand, that's a danger, because every trigger gets bigger and bigger. If you accept the first part of the trigger, it will expand out. So it'd be like, oh, well, if he is on his phone, he is texting with her. Okay. If he is on the phone, he is texting with her and he doesn't love me. If he is on the phone, he is texting with her, he doesn't love me, and he's planning on leaving me. That's what happens with a trigger. So we can't allow that trigger to keep eating and feeding off us and getting bigger and bigger. We've got to say, no, no, no. That is not true. It is not an unsafe thing for him to do, to text. I text all the time. Am I cheating? No. That is not what is always happening. He is doing a regular thing. And you talk yourself through it. It is a constant conversation with you and your brain. You do not allow your brain to just believe any old thing that it wants to believe. Whatever terrifies it, that's what it's going to believe. No, you got to be the queen and be in control of your thoughts. All right? That makes sense? Let me know if that doesn't make any sense, if that's crazy. I'm always telling you difficult things to do here. All right. Marie said he has these thoughts about me. What do you mean? Which thoughts? What do you mean? He has these thoughts about me. He was with her and she cheated. He was with her and she cheated on him, never told me about her. Then, after 1 year with me, he contacted her. He was with her and she cheated on him. Oh, so he went back to her to prove that he could have her again. That's what you're saying, Maria? She cheated on him and he broke up with her. And then after he was back with you and he was happy, he was like, let me go show this bitch that she can't just cheat on me and I just take it. That's what usually that's what that is. Usually if it's somebody they used to date, especially if that person cheated on them, they feel like the score has to be even, that they have to get back on top in some way. This chick did me like this. She did me so dirty. I have got to show her that I could still have her at any time. She is not that special, is what usually what they're trying to do. So that's another reason why, right there. Elise, she said, perfect explanation. You're so right. Now, how can I get over just having moments where I just don't believe him at any given moment? Like if he's telling me he's going to work out, go run errands, etc., my brain automatically thinks he's lying and going to meet up with a girl. How can I get over that? The same way. It's the same way. You've got to always be talking to your brain. Look, brain, seriously. He's that desperate. He's got to always be running to a girl. That is all he can do. That's all you can think that he can do. He can't go to the gym. He can't run errands. He can't do anything. It's got to be a girl. You gotta question that. Don't let your brain just tell you that and you just accept it. You gotta hear that thought and say, no, 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 no. That's a trigger. That's a triggered thought. That's some trauma coming to the surface. I don't choose that. I don't choose to live in that. I don't choose to dwell in that. I am going to believe that he is going to do the right thing because that's the only thing that you can do. You can't sit in a relationship with him and constantly be thinking that he's going to do the wrong thing. It's going to drive you nuts. So you have to tell your brain that is not the choice I am making. I am going to believe in him until proven otherwise. If he shows me that he is not doing what he says he'll do, okay, fine. But right now, I'm going to believe the best of him. I'm going to choose that. I get to choose that brain, not you. All right. Maria's laughing. So that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If she cheated on him before, this was get back. This was you hurt me, and I need to show you that even though you cheated on me, I was still more special. I was still more special to you, and I can have you, and then I can walk away from you just like you had this person and kept on going with your life. I can have you and I can let you go. You know what I'm saying? That explains a lot. And Maria, in this session, in this hour, you have found out all the reasons why. Maria, I don't know what other reasons there are. You told me, I'm telling you, we got the reasons, all right? You don't need to ask him anymore why. He probably doesn't know as much as you do right now. You probably have way more information about why he cheated than he does at the moment. All right? She's a loser, poor girl. She is. It's we gotta have a little sympathy for peasant girls. You know what I'm saying? Hey, she went out there, she lost him in the first place by cheating, and then she got proven that obviously this was somebody that she still did have feelings for, but now he's lost her and you're with him and he can't have her back. Or she can't have him back. That the poor loser. Poor little loser peasant girl. Oh, now go sit down and be a loser, okay? Call back to your barn and call to be a loser, and we're gonna go on with our lives and be happy together. That's how this story goes. That's how this would unfold. The happily ever after is ours. It is not yours. All right. Do better next time. That's all I can say. That's all I can say to all side chicks. Do better next time. Find somebody that actually belongs to you. That's some self-esteem crap. That's their why. That's some self-esteem crap. Feeling like you're not good enough for somebody to have your own man. You feel like you gotta borrow one and play with them for a little while and then put them back because you're not good enough to keep them on your own. That's all that is. I don't pay inside chicks anymore. I don't get all worked up over them anymore. They just is what they is. They are insecure and not doing the best that they possibly can in life right now. Hopefully they'll do better. Hopefully they will. Hopefully is a bad enough situation where they'll understand that they should probably get their own damn man, stop putting their hands on people that don't belong to them. But some people are hard headed. Sometimes it takes people a long time to learn a lesson. So, I let them go on about living their lives and learning their lessons, and I don't have to worry about it. That's not a lesson I gotta learn. So that's not my problem. That's not my fate. I ain't worried about it. You go ahead, sit down somewhere and learn your lessons, little girl. Right? Come out and be a woman. Don't be out here trying to steal somebody else's man. It's terrible. Low self-esteem type stuff. It's ugly. No, it's not even cute. It just looks desperate. No, we're not doing that. And of course, they seek out the desperate ones because if your self-esteem is way lower than my self-esteem, I can use you to lift my self-esteem. I'm trying to tell you, it's a mess being a side chick. It looks exhausting. It looks like something that I wouldn't want to do. So, we're good. We're on the right side of it. We're the queens. All right. All righty, y'all. Let's see. Any other thoughts, questions, comments, complaints? Anything you want to fuss with me about? Anything you're like, no, that's not true, Dasha? Anything that I said that just ain't the truth? Well, I like to ask. I don't want to be out here feeling like I am misleading anybody. I am trying to tell you the best I know, and I did this myself. You can heal. You can get to a better place. You just have to start that. The closure is going to come from you, okay? I'm getting ready to go too, Maria. It's about we've gone past the healing hour. All right. You're so welcome. At least it was. I love it when you all talk to me. It's such a great session when you all are here with me and asking questions and engage with me because then you get me talking about it. And I know a lot about this. So as soon as you get me going on something, I can talk for hours. So I love it when you're here with me to talk this stuff out. All right. So let's end this up with our affirmation for this week because I want you to be working on your affirmations. You're so welcome, Maria. All right. So, and you know what? I still have. If you haven't signed up for it yet, go to the pin section in the group. I still have tomorrow. I still have openings for one-on-ones. I still have openings for one-on-ones. I'm looking for some people to start my next after infidelity mastermind, my next group. So yeah, come on. It's not. Is it in the thing? I don't think. Well, all right. I'll pin it to the top section. But yeah, I still got some days from some time for tomorrow. So if you haven't talked to me and you would like to talk to me and work something out with your whole situation and feel a little bit better after our conversation, come on over and chat with me. All right. Let me see. I think it's just tomorrow. I think that's the last day. I'm getting ready to move, so I wasn't doing any more after that. But I will pin it to the top of the group. Come grab a spot with me. If it'll let me create the post, come on. There we go. All right, let's see. All right, posted it in the group. So, and I'll put it up here too. So it'll be in the bottom of the screen. Still just a couple more tomorrow. So if you do want to talk to me, go ahead. Come on and chit chat with me. I got lots of advice to give. All right, my dears. Let's get an affirmation going. Let's remind you that an affirmation is whatever you tell yourself. If you keep telling yourself crappy things, that's still an affirmation. Your brain will believe it, okay? Let's not tell ourselves terrible things. Let's tell ourselves positive things. Let's keep ourselves accountable for that, okay? All right, so the affirmation for today is today I feel healthy. Today my mind is clear, my body is healthy, and my soul is at peace. I love it. All right. You got to say that. You got to say it with conviction. You got to look yourself in the eye, in your camera, in your mirror. You got to say it like you mean it, like it is the truth, like it is the most true thing you have ever uttered in your life. Okay. Today, I feel healthy. Today, my mind is clear, my body is healthy, and my soul is at peace. When you tell yourself that over and over and over and over and over again, instead of, oh, he doesn't love me, he doesn't want me, he never ever cared about me. If you do this and tell yourself positive things, that's what your brain will believe. Okay? We must start training our brains to do what we want them to make them believe what we tell them to. So then that's the default programming. Right now, we're in the default programming of fear. We've got to change that script around. Every single time I start to get that feeling like, oh, I'm getting fearful, it is immediately recognizable to me now. I immediately know when I start to say all the thoughts, because around the full moon, I start getting snarky in my head. Well, why did he do this? Even though he's doing fine, nothing is any different. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. But why did he do this? And he's just being completely useless. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's not cute. That's not me. That is not my thinking. That is not a thought that I wish to have. Let's slide that to the side. Let's do better with the next thought. Okay. And it's immediately clear to me when that happens. So you got to practice at it. It will come to you. You will get real good at recognizing those terrible thoughts and then saying, okay, no, I am not going to believe that. I am choosing a different thought. All right. Congrats on your place. Thank you. Will they be alive next Thursday then? Yeah, I'm assuming so. If something happens that I feel like I just can't pull it off, I think that I could be able to pull it off. We're going to be moving like Tuesday and Wednesday. I think Thursday should be fine. We'll be in a different spot, but yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. All right. I'm gonna assume I'll be here. All right. I like keeping my same routine. It feels weird when I'm not here for a Thursday. It feels like I've been gone like forever. So I really like to come and do this every week. It takes a lot of stress off me because I'm stressed out about moving, but coming and talking to you makes me feel better. So thank you for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. Do your deep breathing, do your journaling, be grateful, don't ask questions, and don't do what fear tells you to do until we meet again, all right? I love you, and I'm so, so proud of you, and I will see you again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. Bye on Instagram, and bye over here on Facebook and YouTube.